Dear Clash Guards, I confess my emotions have been a mess. Cause you changed everything we ever knew. From witches to poison and the Queen Walk too. Whoa, I've been wrong, I was wrong. Been at town all night, way too long. Getting hogs and Valkyries. I'll push that button and believe in you again.
Welcome to episode 92 of Pineapples and Thorns. I'm Kat, and I've got some special guests with me tonight. But first, let's go through some CFF news. Barky and Sky are gearing up for the annual CFF Draft War. Keep your eyes on the announcement channel in the CFF server for details on how to sign up. Also, more K Farmhouse CFF news. K Farmhouse is expanding and adding some friends of the family to their group of clans. Their clan includes YouTuber Dandy Dan, who has been doing great event recaps for us for quite a while. Whip and BG just hosted the first One Spell Space event on August 24th. Team BG came out on top with a final score of 70 to 66. Well done to all, and thanks to everybody for participating. Sons of Guns hosts a monthly 1v1 tournament for their members in the CFF for Town Hall 16. This month's winner was Darth Yoda himself, taking down Antinous for the win. If you're a Town Hall 16 in the CFF and interested in taking part, just DM Darth Yoda and he'll set you up. And the Raided has spun a war to try for Win 500. They spun today, fingers crossed that they get it. We have a lot of special guests joining us for this milestone war, so thank you to all of them for joining us for that. Sadie Dueler is closing in on Win 600. Aggie is the leader there, and they expect to host a family event to try for that milestone. So keep your eyes on the CFF announcements channel for that. And Redthorn is in the middle of a push to try and get as high up as possible in Canada for the Legend season, which ends tonight. We're doing that with the help of all our friends. And then next month, we will be pushing the entire CFF to see how high we can get globally. All the Legends players will go over to the Clash Files clan and we'll see where we end up. Also happening as we speak tonight is the 5th annual CFF Fantasy Football Draft. Jupiter from Noble Hero has been running it for us for the past 3 years and just started a Dynasty League for us this year. So as you can see, the CFF is hopping and growing. Now, welcome to my very special guests, Fuzzy and Outlaw. Fuzzy is the leader of the Raided and is often found lurking in friends servers. And Outlaw is a longtime co-leader at Redthorn and is currently taking the lead role at our new Redthorn family clan, Shiny Gemeralds. Welcome, guys.
Thank you, Kat.
Good to be here.
Awesome. So a brief clan history of Shiny Gemeralds before we get started. Shiny was the feeder clan to Crystal Warrior, both very old community league clans. The clan leader of both of those clans retired and gave them to our friend Magnus for safekeeping, and he has graciously allowed Redthorn to add them to our little clan family. So Outlaw and Fuzzy, why don't you just briefly run through your Clash histories, how you started playing, how many accounts you currently play, and how you came to the Redthorn family. Fuzzy, do you want to go first?
Yeah, sure. So I started around August or September of 2012. I have 4 accounts, and really I only play on 2 right now, just because there's just so much to do with all the events. I don't have time for all 4. And I found the Redthorn family through this podcast, actually.
Awesome. Outlaw, how about you?
Well, I started playing in 2016. Some friends from work were playing, and I was in their clan for a little while. And as I grew more interested in being a little bit more competitive, I found myself in Castaways for a little while. Then Matt plugged me into you, and here I am.
I'm happy to have you here.
I've got probably 4 or 5 accounts, and I usually just play 2 of them.
Yeah, it's hard to play multiple accounts these days.
Yeah, it is.
So let's just dive into, what's been happening in Redthorn. It's a little bit exciting for us. Both Redthorn and the Raided have been bursting at the seams lately, so we've decided to open Shiny Gemeralds, as we said, as the 3rd clan in the Redthorn family. And Outlaw, you've agreed to run it along with help from the amazing Ace and Ghost Rider. The clan will be a clan for lower accounts from Town Hall 9 to 15 mainly to start, and you're going to be running your 16s there to help manage donations, etc. Outlaw, first of all, thank you for taking this on with both Ghost and Ace. It's much appreciated. It's not often that we get to rebuild a clan. The last one we did was the Raided, and it's come a long way.
Yeah, it has. It's awesome to get to be a part of it.
Well, you've been kind of caretaking Shiny for a while with all the SCCWL every month running it, and so it just seems like a natural progression, right?
Right. It'll it'll take a little bit of adjustment, but I think there will be some really great future there.
Yeah. Do you have any plans in your mind for Shiny? It's going to be taking the lower accounts. Is there anything specific that you have in mind for it to get it started?
Well, really, I guess just to start, it'll be nice when we get to the point where we have permanent members that
Mhm.
there's not so much bouncing back and forth. I know we're kind of in between right now, but once we get those permanent members and see who's on board and let everybody fall into their places, I think it'll really take off.
Yeah, I think so too. And I know it's going to take a little bit of adjustment because Fuzzy, I think there's some plans to move some of the lower accounts from the Raided over there and people's alts for both clans. So it'll take a little bit of movement. Are you working on the fantasy football?
No, I just thought you were still talking to Outlaw about Shiny. I didn't know you were gonna.
That's okay.
It's hard, but yeah, I'm still watching the cups very closely for Redthorn right now. But yeah, we are gonna move some of our lower accounts over there. Try to help out and get some people over there and active, and make sure that the adjustment period goes as smoothly as possible.
Mm-hmm. And you've had about a month roughly with the leader role at the Raided. How's that been going?
It's going really well, actually. We have the leadership team that was already in place. They're really good and they're all really active. So it's been a really smooth transition. Just keeping the ship going and not overthinking anything really.
Do you have like an idea of like what direction you'd like to take the Raided in? Once everything sort of settles with Shiny?
Yeah, so when I first joined, it was a lot of alts and minis in there. So I think we were probably in middle masters leagues when it came to CWL. But since we've grown and added some players that are really really good, we've been slowly rising up through the ranks, and we've promoted to Champs 3 now. So I would like for us to stay as a Champs clan. I think we got a really good core group of people that can keep us there. So, I think Redthorn is pretty much the perfect example of what we want to follow.
Awesome. And you both are experienced co-leaders within Redthorn and the Raided. Let's talk a little bit about your experiences as co-leaders and now as relatively fresh leaders within Redthorn and the CFF. What did you both learn as co-leaders that you feel you can bring to the lead role? Outlaw?
Well, I know there's a great leadership team there, and I've got to watch some of the best co-leaders, in the game support you. And I've noticed that we have some really great co-leaders at Shiny also with Ghost and Ace. Every CWL, Ghost really makes things come together. And I really would like to imitate what I've seen in Redthorn. Everybody's a great big family, and we've all kind of been around for a while, and we overcome things together. And the atmosphere at Redthorn's something I'd like to bring to Shiny too, to where it's competitive, but it's also relaxed at the same time.
Fuzzy, what about you?
So, Outlaw said it really well. The leadership team in the Redthorn family is really strong. So I don't really see much difference between myself being a leader or you or Drac or Penn or anybody else making any decisions. Because, to me, we're all on the same playing field. We're all in leadership. We all want what's best for the clans, for the future of the clan. So whenever I make a decision in the clan, I always want to make sure it's unanimous with the other co-leaders.
Mhm.
Because I value their opinions.
Yeah, for sure.
That's really well put.
Yeah, and I think that's something that I've always felt was important in Redthorn, just making decisions as a group, not having one person. Just because one person has to hold the quote unquote leader role doesn't mean that person is always right. And it's nice to have multiple people weighing in on important decisions because there's some, important ones that get made for clan families. And, opening up Shiny was definitely an important decision.
Yeah, it's a big jump.
So what are some of the challenges you feel you face running a clan in general, and in particular a sister clan to Redthorn? Fuzzy?
So I think, I don't really face too many challenges other than when it comes to wars, kind of watching how people perform. And, CWL is one thing that I think is kind of causes the most strain on all of us. But for the most part, outside of that, it's pretty easy. I don't really have too much that I dislike about it, except making hard decisions. If you have to move someone in or out, or have to kick people for trophy counts and stuff. That's tough.
That's very tough.
It's fun.
I think it's traumatized me tonight, having to move so many people out of Redthorn.
I don't think I've
But-
ever seen Kat say sorry so many times in one night.
Outlaw, how about you?
Well, being being part of the clan family, it's kind of like you said. Once people get situated and they get parked, things will fall into place a lot better. And one of the things that we've been real fortunate with at Redthorn is there's so many hands on the plow that you're not pushing it by yourself,
Mhm.
and it makes a whole lot lighter work when there's so many great people that are already lined up to run things.
Yeah, that's for sure. It's like having a good team is, I think, critical for any clan.
Yeah, and good chemistry too.
Exactly.
Absolutely.
Everybody's had very good chemistry.
Yeah. So let's talk a little bit about Clash of Clans. I know you guys have heard me talking, and you've probably noticed it. There's been a really big issue lately with perfect wars in clans. Like, well, we all love a really competitive war that, you end up tying because both teams just were doing great attacks. It just seems like that's all we're seeing in Redthorn, and not just Redthorn, but pretty much any clan that runs all Town Hall 16 wars, and quite a few that are running mixed. It's just like ties after ties after ties, and the only time that you seem to get a win is if the other team really messes up, which doesn't seem to be happening. And I know Trample, his latest pod episode, addresses this issue as well, and I don't think I've ever heard him rant so much about Clash of Clans. Like, he's usually a super positive guy, but he was really, really down on the game in general. And he feels that a possible solution might be that defenses could be buffed to combat the problem. What do you guys think? What can Supercell do?
I mean, all right. So I think they should definitely add some more levels to the defense, like maybe another level to the double cannon or the archer towers, or maybe finish off the rest of the archer towers and cannons, because it's just way too easy right now on offense. And as much as I love tripling, I cannot stand having to win wars by like 0.1% just because one team didn't triple the number one base. So I mean, it's just really frustrating.
Yeah. What about you, Outlaw?
Well, I think a lot of the ties will go away once the event troops end. I think they're ending real soon. So things will kind of ease up a little bit, but it's like you said, there's so much going on with offense right now. I think a better idea would be when 17 comes out, sooner than later, that instead of adding more mechanics to offense, they can just add a little bit more to defense. There's so many mechanics in the game working together with all the equipment and all the pets, and it seems like major strides at a time instead of the traditional add a little here, add a little there. So I think it'll balance back out when 17 comes out.
I mean, it really has been a really crazy year as far as Town Hall 16 is concerned, because, Town Hall 15 was so difficult, right?
Yeah, it was rough.
Town Hall 16, it was great. You had all these different events coming in, and Lavaloon was fantastic. I'm still in love with that troop.
Yeah.
But, month after month of having to work on equipment and get the ore, and now you're getting tied wars, and you're not getting as much ore as if you win a war. So it's really a problem, and I'm hoping, because it seems to be the year of offense, that perhaps in Town Hall 17 they'll just like full stop on offense for like maybe a few months at least, and address the balance that needs to be found in the game. And I don't know, we're going to talk a little bit about what we want to see in Town Hall 17 later on in the show, but I'm really not sure what they could do. They certainly can't nerf the equipment because people have put too much time and money into them.
Yeah.
So let's do a little bit of questions from the audience, because we had quite a few to run through. We had a really great response from everybody when they found out you guys were coming on. Question from Duck: when will we see a pineapples themed clan? So I guess that one's more for me. And we did have a clan in the CFF with a pineapple theme that was called Kent Greenhouse. That was their whole shtick, was pineapples. And it was a teaching clan. And it was for basically start off for Town Hall 9 and lower, back in the days when Town Hall 9 was the top clan. And people would come through, they'd have to sketch a plan, a war plan, and post it and get it approved. And it was all, the idea was to teach people base identification and how to attack. And it really worked well. But I think players just outgrew it after a while, especially with all the higher town halls. The strategy, seemed to disappear as people moved into the higher town halls where it was more smash attacks and strategy wasn't necessarily needed as much. So ODS had a question, and I think this is geared to you, Fuzzy. Would you rather all your children, past, present, and future, have a possum brain and a human body, or a possum body and a human brain?
I feel like this is kind of a trap question right here, but thinking about it, you got to go possum body, human brain, because if you have a possum brain and a human body, you're not really going to be able to do much. But
Yeah.
a possum body with a human brain, I'm thinking like Master Splinter from Ninja Turtles.
Yeah, it'd be pretty cool.
Exactly. Not saying I'm the mutant possum or anything, though.
Would never suggest that. Ace wants to know, what is Outlaw's favorite gun and why?
Well, Ace, knowing me, knows that I'm a Magnum guy. I just like big bang flop kind of guns. So it's going to be a Weatherby for me.
Okay. I don't even know what that is, but that's okay.
Ace will know what that means.
Okay.
And King Redbeard came up with a question, and I'm not too sure if you guys did your homework and studied up on this. What is the capital of Saskatchewan, and what does it mean in Latin?
We were dependent on you for this one.
Yeah, I was waiting on you to answer that one.
Yeah, Red lives right down the road from me in Texas, so this is a curiosity for me.
I'm surprised he could even spell Saskatchewan. So
I didn't know we were going to be on Are You Smarter Than a Fifth Grader now?
okay, well, the capital is Regina, and in Latin it means queen.
Huh.
Also from King Redbeard, what was the first NFL team to have a logo on their helmet, and who designed it? Fuzzy, you want to take a stab at that?
Now, I did. Yeah, I got this one
Okay.
because I Googled it. It's the LA Rams. In 1948, Fred Gerke painted all 75 helmets by hand for him.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
That's amazing. Okay.
Pretty impressive.
Drac wants to know, what is on your wish list for Town Hall 17? Outlaw, you want to go first?
Mine might be kind of generic, but it's balance.
Mhm.
I think it's been a while since we've had a really good balance of offense and defense. And like you said, 15 was so defensively oppressive, and now 16's a total flip flop from that. It would be refreshing to see something kind of even, to where the casual player can still triple with a good attack, but it's not so easy that we're always tying in war.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So that would be my wish.
Fuzzy, what about you?
I think if they added a fifth hero to the game, it might make a lot of people a little upset, but I think it would solve the problem of having a hero down and still being able to war if you could rotate them like good pets. I don't know what they would do for a fifth hero, but I think it would be a good idea.
Yeah. Well, I think it would definitely open up some options. It's the same thing as with pets, right? Like you can change your pets depending on what attack you want to do. So maybe you could also change up a hero, right?
Exactly.
Yeah.
I'd also like to see hard mode in Legend League.
Mm-hmm.
And I know Trample talked about how he doesn't think hard mode should be in Legend League on his last podcast because, he would feel bad for the Town Hall 14s and 15s in it. But to me, Legends League is something that you're not supposed to farm in. It's if you want to push to be competitive, that's where the higher Town Halls go. So
Yeah.
I think if you sign up for Legends League, you should expect hard mode.
Yeah.
Yeah. Or maybe they have, once you get over 5,300 cups, maybe that is when hard mode kicks in or something.
That'd be fine with me.
I think Legends League, they originally intended it for it to be that way, but what it really turned into, and I don't know if anybody else sees it or not, but it's a very good way to time everybody as a whole's progress through the game. If you're in Legends, there's only so much loot you can get per day, and you're not losing it, so they don't have to figure that up. But it kind of gives them a better estimated time of when everybody's going to be maxed out and when they need updates and things like that. I think that's what it's turned into.
That's a good point. Yeah, I remember, oh gosh, I think it was back when Titans was as high as you could go. And then they introduced Legends. And if you remember, if you were in Legends, you press spin to try and find a match. And you could walk away and come back a couple hours later and you'd still be you'd still be in the clouds looking for a match.
Or your phone would be dead.
Something like that. But I had a little bit of a question circling back to what you said, Outlaw, about balance. I wanted to know, what town hall do you think, what was the last town hall you think that was truly balanced? Fuzzy?
Well, that's actually a really good question.
Yeah, it is.
To me, what I would consider balance is something between what we have now and what Town Hall 15 was. And I didn't get to experience Town Hall 14 when it was the highest level, but that's what everybody kind of described it as. And I think if they went back towards something like that, it would be perfect.
Outlaw, what about you?
Yeah, I think Town Hall 14 probably was either 13 or 14. It's kind of hard to remember that far back, but it seemed like things were really good shape. Like you could be good at it with like a good Yeti attack, but it wasn't broken like defensively.
Yeah. Yeah, I think I agree with that. Town Hall 14, I remember that's where I learned hybrid, and I fell in love with it. Good. Yeah, Queen Charge hybrid. And it was just such a fun attack. And then Town Hall 15 came in, and you couldn't do it anymore.
Yeah.
And you still really can't. I mean, unless you're BG, who can Queen Charge anything, but the majority of us are not good enough to be doing queen charges. So, it just seems like everybody's either doing dragon attacks or, the various smash attacks with root riders and valks and what have you. So it would be nice to be able to get back into some kind of a meta where you could do these, with a little bit of planning, that you could do some queen charging and stuff. I do miss that.
Yeah. Some Lalo.
Some Lalo. Yes, you were the Lalo king. Another question from Drac. What advice would you give to people new to our clans, Outlaw?
Well, there's several of them to pick from, and really, to me, it just goes back to the chemistry. All your gameplay is it's really gonna either be made or broken by how well you get along with people, how you jive with people, and with the different clans, there's a lot of different personalities. So, it might not be a good fit for one clan, even though your progress might fall in line with that. But there's plenty of other ones that you could find your niche, basically.
Fuzzy?
I agree completely with what Outlaw said. I wrote down to be active, to be drama free, because we've done a good job at promoting a drama free environment. I think it's a very, very good family environment we got going on. To have fun, and to definitely participate in the events that we have going on, because they are so much fun, and it's awesome to get out and meet new people in the other clans too.
Yeah, and I think a lot of people are scared to move out of their comfort zone to try these things. We just did that one spell space event, and it was a lot of fun. And I think a lot of people were surprised at how reliant they are on these 2 spell space or 3 spell space spells, right? Like, the overgrowth and the rage and the jump and the heal. And the clone and even the recall. It's like you use those all the time, and all of a sudden you're having to go back to these 1 spell space attacks, and some of them worked and some of them didn't, but it was a lot of fun, and it was nice to meet people that we hadn't done wars with before. So yeah, I second that, Fuzzy. Just move out of your comfort zone, try something. It's a lot of fun.
Good thing the event troops were so broken, or else I would have been screwed.
Yeah, I messed up on the event troops. So another question from Drac is, what is the best tip or advice you have received for War or Legend League attacks from someone? Fuzzy?
So actually, the best tip that I've gotten in a while comes from Drac. I was struggling a few weeks ago during the last season. Like, I just couldn't seem to get over like a 50% hit rate. And Drac messaged me, and we were kind of talking it out, and he was basically telling me when he goes into his attacks, he looks to what he calls attack downhill, which is where he tries to take out as much of the high DPS as he can. That way he's the hammer in the attack, not the nail. So I've been trying to take that mindset into attacks, and it's actually helped me tremendously when I go into planning, especially for Legends, because you only get 30 seconds to plan. So It's helped me tremendously.
That's great advice. Outlaw, how about you?
Well, I think the best advice I've gotten actually came from UCAD. It was, when I do have a messed up attack and it fails and goes miserably wrong, the 3-star skitch turned into the 49% 1-star, and just dust yourself off. There's no sorries, and and attacking. We just
Yeah.
learn from it and move forward.
That was like hard learned experience because I failed so
Yeah.
many attacks.
It's continuously hard learned.
Peter asks, what pet and hero combinations are you guys using? And what equipment for your heroes? Outlaw?
I have to go look. Go to Fuzzy first.
Okay, we'll talk to Fuzzy first.
All right. So for my pet and heroes, I've got the King with Diggy right now, but I'm thinking about switching that up, maybe going back to the Phoenix, just because I don't know if sometimes Diggy does a great job and sometimes it's just completely wasted. But I also have the Unicorn with the Queen, the Jelly on the Warden, and the Fox with the RC. And then for the equipment, I've got the Gauntlet and the Spiky Ball for the King, the Giant Arrow and the Healer Puppet for the Queen, the Healing Tome and Eternal Tome for the Warden. But I've also been using the Rage Gem a little bit there. And then I've got the Hog and the Haste Puppet on the RC.
I don't see too many people using a jelly. That's interesting. You like that one?
Yeah, actually, I talked to Trample about it because when I was upgrading him, I was using the Electro Owl, and sometimes the Electro Owl would be really good, and other times it was like it wasn't even there. So I asked Trample, I was like, "Hey, do you use the Jelly or the Owl for your Hydra growth?" And he said he uses the Jelly because having the Warden target the defenses kind of pushes him forward farther into the base behind the dragons, and he doesn't really need to target trash on the outside when the dragons are going to take care of it anyway.
Yeah, that makes sense. Yeah. Okay, Outlaw, you ready?
Yep, I've got the Unicorn on the Warden, got Diggy on my King, Phoenix on my Queen, and Spirit Fox on my Royal Champ. That's really worked out pretty well for me. On the King, I'm running OG equipment. I haven't really got to play around with Spiky Ball yet. I haven't maxed it. So the Queen, I'm running the Invis and the Mirror, which my mirror is up to 23.
Oh, nice.
And I'm really liking it right now. Then the Warden and the Champion, I'm just running OG equipment on them.
Interesting.
So, yeah, equipment kind of came out in a period where I was kind of losing interest, so I didn't really get into it like I should have. And when I finally came around to like, okay, now I've got all these, I got something else to farm. I kind of just stuck to the original stuff for a long time, and I started seeing how well everybody was doing with some of the special equipment, and
Mm-hmm.
I started trying things slowly but surely. But we'll get out of my comfort zone one day.
Yeah, it is hard to switch over and start using something new. Like I just switched to using the fireball with my Warden, and I'm having mixed success with it. So I'll just keep at it and keep working at it and get it maxed. Mine's not maxed yet. So
Yeah,
I'm too stingy with my ore.
yeah, the ore. Oh my gosh.
it really is like relearning a whole mechanic, really.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, use them completely differently.
Yeah, I think that's what the downfall of 16 was, is that there were so many added mechanics that if you didn't have like a whole ton of time to devote to the game, it'd be real easy to get left behind on it. So
Mm-hmm. Yeah, for sure.
I think that makes some of the YouTube videos on attacks kind of misleading too, because you see these guys attacking with max equipment, and
Yeah.
say you
Yep.
need the fireball, but you go in and your fireball is level 16, you're not going to get the same result.
Definitely.
Yeah.
And I think Trample mentioned that in his podcast, is that, he can do content, but all his equipment is maxed. So he's not able to show people who are, mid-level with their equipment what's going to happen if they do the same sort of attack with that. And I think maybe that's something that content creators should have, that they'd be able to adjust their equipment to different levels to show people, right? That might be something nice.
I think that's a good idea.
That's not a bad idea at all. It'd be more appealing to people for sure.
Right, because there are a lot of players that are nowhere near max on their equipment. So they're probably struggling with these different attacks that are, all the rage. Magnus asks, out of the 3 modes in game, Builder Base, Capital, and Main Village, what is the best mode, and how would you improve each mode if you could? Fuzzy?
Well, I mean, the Main Village is definitely my favorite. If you want to improve Builder Base, just get rid of it. And I actually do like Clan Capital. I've been enjoying Clan Capital a lot. So I don't really know what else you could do to improve it, because to me, I think it's about as far as it can go concept wise.
More levels, maybe?
Yeah.
Yeah.
We definitely need someone to rate it. We've been maxed for a while.
Oh, I know. Redthorn, same thing. I think a number of clans are at that point.
Maybe they need to have something where you can like convert capital gold to another resource, because the clan hopping for dumping gold is just it's annoying sometimes.
Yeah. Maybe you could buy ore with it. That would be great.
Yeah, too great.
Too great. It'll never happen. Outlaw, what do you think?
Well, we talked about the main village, which really is the meat and potatoes of the game.
Mm-hmm.
We talked about all the improvements on it, but builder base kind of is what it is. It's great because it's got a gem mine and that's it. You can delete it and just move the gem mine over to the main village. But yeah, capital raids has been really interesting to me. I've enjoyed it too, and when shiny was basically when this first came out, I noticed it wasn't getting a whole lot of love, so I kind of just dumped everything over there and solo farmed it by myself for a little while. And I can't remember if it was at like Capitol Hall 5 or something like that. Everybody started coming over, and I was like, well, I got a little bit of a head start, so I've enjoyed that. And we're at a 9 now, so one more level.
Nice. Dandy Dan asks, how many accounts do you feel are too many for one person to manage? Who wants to take that one first?
How much time you got?
Yeah.
Go ahead, Outlaw. Tell us what you think.
I don't know. I mean, 2 or 3 is great. It really depends on the person, because I know, like, with my real life stuff, I do lawn care for a living. So during the busy season, I don't have time to run more than maybe 2. By the time I get my 8 Legends hits in, that's pretty much all I've got time for.
Mhm.
But I know other people that'll remain unnamed that probably have over 10, and they seem to do well with all of them.
Fuzzy, what do you think?
I can only run my 2 right now. I don't know how some people have over 30 or even over 70, like Prunk in the Raided.
Yeah. I don't have that many. I have like 8. And to be honest, I've parked all of those. My poor Town Hall 14 has gotten no love. She's sitting, just collecting. I go ahead and collect her loot from the collectors and do
The gem
plan
mine.
games with her and a gem mine. But I don't have the ambition to do a lot of farming on her, and I don't have the time because, I just finished Unbreakable on Kitty Cat, so that took a lot of time. Dropping cups every day.
Yeah.
So I got 316, so I'm busy with those.
That's what it comes down to, is your ambition. But maybe over the long term, because there was a time where I was running like 5 accounts full time, and my ambition kind of fluctuated over time, I'm sure everybody does. But there's some points where it's like, well, I'll log on, get my war hits, and roll out. But you go through your seasons in life, and it really is just a personal question.
Yeah. So another question from Dan is, if there was another tier pass higher than gold pass, say, diamond or emerald or whatever they wanted to call it, what do you think Supercell would need to put into it to make it worth the extra money?
Lots of ore.
Yeah.
Simple question.
That's the
Simple
answer.
answer. Yeah, I agree. And I think they would need to be extremely cautious about introducing something like that to the game, because you've got the event pass and you've got the gold pass. Maybe they would combine the event pass into a higher tier so everything was included. But Clash Royale, I know they did a diamond pass and they got a huge backlash from the player base about it. And
Yeah.
it's been a huge issue with that game.
Yeah, I really hope they don't introduce something like that, to be honest.
Yeah. Back in the day, gyms seemed like their main source of income.
Mm-hmm.
And it is a business. They got to make their money too. But when they came out with Gold Pass, it seemed like a good enough deal for everybody that it took the place of gyms, which is good, because with 1 gym donations, I always gymmed my donations back when it was like, 1 loon was like 5 gyms. So,
Oh my gosh.
somebody's request would have cost me 50 or 60 gyms, and I was spending like $20 a month on gyms.
Ouch.
But now you've got Gold Pass and, like you said, the event passes, and everybody's got to get the event pass because you need the ore.
Yeah.
Because we're all dying all our wars. So yeah, they've got consistent money. They need to be content with their consistent money.
Yeah, with the equipment, I think it really does make a huge difference if you get the event pass to get that
Yeah.
ore on your main accounts. Like, I mean,
Definitely.
I tried to not buy them, and I suffered greatly.
Yeah, you and me both. I could have bought a car with what I've spent on my main, unfortunately.
Yeah, yeah. Don't tell the wife.
A used car.
Okay. All right. Kronk asked us, please rank what matters to you most in Clash. Group clan war performance, CWL personal war performance, clan CWL war performance, Legend League performance, or something else. So, Fuzzy?
So I'm gonna go with something else for the first couple of them. I think activity and the fit in the clan that you're in is two of the most important things when it comes to
Mhm.
your Clash experience. But for me personally, I also like I'm a competitive person, so I like for us to do good and I like for us to win. But if we don't win a regular war, whatever, they're regular wars. I don't get me wrong, I like our streak. I want to keep our streak going, but it's not the end of the world. But I love winning CWL wars. To me, that is like what I look forward to the most during the month, and that's what I use my Legend League hits as practice. So I don't care if people whatever they do in Legend Leagues, it's up to them. But
Mhm.
CWL is my favorite thing in the game.
Yeah, that's a great answer. Outlaw, how about you?
Yeah, he put it very well. Your clan and the fellowship you have with your clanmates and the clan family and all that that's really that's really the number one thing. Everybody's happy, everybody's cool, and then from there it's like you said, Legend League is it's kind of a mix for me. It's between farming and practice for war, basically, which it never seems to come out the same. So I don't know why it's practice, but yeah, getting those hits in, that's up there. But like you said, I like to see the clan do really good on CWL, and I know that presents a whole nother challenge because Shiny is a mixed clan. It's not all 16s, so you don't want to do so good that we're getting stomped in like Masters or something like that. But
Mhm.
you also want something that's a little bit of a challenge. So it's kind of a tender balance.
I agree. And for me, I think, echo what you said, Fuzzy. I think the camaraderie and friendships, the social aspect of the game is what matters most to me personally. Clan wars, yes, I love to win too, but that's because it makes the clan happy, the clan's doing well, everybody's active, CWO personal war performance, well, if that mattered to me, I would have quit a long time ago. But yeah, I like to see everybody having fun and doing well, and going back to when Redthorn started up, putting the fun back in the game was top priority for
Yeah.
me. So
Yeah,
so
Kat, one of the things that I've really loved about Redthorn, and I know I don't get on and do it as much anymore, but was that we had a Discord voice channel.
mhm.
It seemed like it made things a lot more personal because I'm chatting with real people.
Yes,
I have people with similar hobbies, like Storm Rider loves his motorcycles and Ace loves guns, and we can all sit there and chat for hours on end. And
yep.
I think that's what's made the game really survive the way it has for so long is just the community and the bond of that.
Yeah, I think so. I think you're right. All right, let's move on and talk a little bit about the August anime theme in game. What are your thoughts on it, guys? Do you like it? Did you buy any of the skins and scenery? And what do you think about the event troops? Fuzzy?
I did not like it. I didn't buy anything from the sceneries or the skins. I think the King skin kind of looks like Logan Paul. So, yeah, that was a no for me.
Wow,
Oh,
that's
I
pretty
also didn't
definite.
like the event troops. The event troops to me are really annoying. Although I did like the lava loons and the broom witches are kind of like that, and it is fun using them, but they've totally ruined Legends League with the event troops. So I'm not a fan.
Uh,
What about you, Ella? What do you think?
well, I've never been a big like anime fan, so I've been indifferent on that, and I've never purchased any of the skins or scenery. That's never been my thing. I guess the only scenery that I really want is that one that you buy with your CWL medals, but it's almost like it's unobtainable. unless you're really just dead set on getting it. And the event troops, I kind of enjoyed the spamminess of Broom Witches for a while, and it seemed like it and had nice little simple concepts. Snipe all the wizard towers and then send it. But it's really contributed to a lot of the ties too. So
Yeah.
it's a win-lose.
So for the event troops, do you think that they should limit the duration of them, to maybe a week?
I think that'd be a good idea.
I think maybe 2 weeks. A week
Yeah.
doesn't really give people time to come up with some kind of I'd say strategy, but there really isn't like a whole lot of strategy to them. So I guess it depends on how broken they are.
This is true. And don't run them over CWL week, that's for sure.
Yeah,
definitely.
that's a big thing, and don't take them away halfway through CWL week.
Oh, this is true. This is true. Make up your mind.
That's a good way to make a lot of people mad.
Yeah, that would never happen.
Yeah, never. Who would think of such a thing?
Exactly. Fairy posted recently on X that something big was coming in the next update, which should be sometime mid to late September. What would you like to see them do in the fall update? There are some very interesting offers in the shop today. There's a Rune of D and 10 pet potions. Do you think that's a hint that more pet levels are coming? Outlaw?
It probably is. Typically when they announce that it's going to be something big and then they have all the offers back to back, it's a pretty good indicator. But, for most of us, I've gotten to the point where I don't want to buy all the stuff and then be maxed out the first week and then have nothing to do. So going back to what would I like to see, I know it's definitely not going to happen, but I personally, I enjoy wall farming. I would rather just have one more level of walls.
Oh my god.
And if they did that and nothing else, I'd be just content as can be. Get on and do my farming during the day, dump all my loot into walls, and watch them change colors.
Happy person. Fuzzy?
To me, when they say something big's coming, that screams another piece of epic equipment. But I really hope not, because I need some time to catch up before that torch comes out, because it's supposed to be really, really strong.
Oh, that's right. I forgot about that thing.
Yeah, I think it's supposed to replace the Eternal Tome, essentially.
Oh, wow.
So, yeah, it's everything I've heard is supposed to be ridiculously good. But what I would like to see is maybe another event where you can war without heroes, or with heroes upgrading. Maybe maybe they do a potion or something where you can, if you have a hero upgrading, you can use that potion and it's good for like an hour or 12 hours or something.
That's a great
That'd
idea.
be good.
Yeah.
Something else they could sell.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
exactly. It's a moneymaker. So we touched briefly on your wish list in the questions, but what would you choose if you could for a design theme for Town Hall 17? If you could design it, what color, any kind of a theme, Outlaw?
Maybe like a fiery orange or something. Where they kind of make like subtle shifts around, and we go from red to orange. That would be kind of subtle, but they could make it pop enough that it's special. I don't know.
Fuzzy?
See, I was thinking about this earlier, and I'm not really sure what colors left they could use for a town hall that they haven't already done. Because you got purple with Town Hall 15, because that would have been my first choice.
Yeah.
But then I was like, well, it's Town Hall 15, and then I really like the cohesiveness of Town Hall 13 with its walls and the light blue and dark blue. And you can't beat Town Hall 9 when it came out. That was just chef's kiss. I mean,
let's go back to that.
Yeah, I would like to see another black Town Hall. I think that would be really cool.
Yeah, I agree. I was thinking about this myself and looking at Town Hall 9, and it was just so cool. And then, I'd like to see maybe something combined with the Town Hall 8 walls that had the skulls on them.
Mm-hmm.
And, maybe a black and gold Town Hall of some sort. That would be kind of cool.
I just want something that's cohesive and looks aesthetically pleasing.
Exactly.
Yeah, and since we're on the Town Hall 9 trail, they may as well bring back like Go Wipe and Lalo.
And Lalo.
Make
There's
that
a Lalo
viable
word
again.
again.
Yeah.
Oh, vodka soda still uses Lalo. I've seen it.
Yeah, Outlaw uses Lalo once in a while. I've seen him.
I do every now and then. Not real great at it, but it's just it's a timeless attack, and I think that's really cool. There's something to be said for an attack that has been mildly viable at every town hall level. I don't think any other attacks ever survived like that, except maybe like dragons or something.
Yeah. So I draw a lot of stuff off Twitter apparently. So Firepower Clan on Twitter, he posted some ideas that he thought Clash of Clans needs for the quality of life features. So I thought we'd run through our top 5 quality of life features that we think are needed in Clash of Clans. So we'll go 5 first. So Outlaw, what's your number 5?
Number 5, I like what he put for number 12, being able to see it donated to you, but I would shape that to be who donated to the war CCs. Like that should be like a public knowledge. That way
I
they
agree.
can be thanked.
Yeah, I totally agree. Fuzzy, what's your number 5?
So you know how when you go to upgrade a wall with elixir or gold, you got 2 steps. You just hit the which one you want, then the next page, and then it's good. Well, whenever you go to use a wall ring, you have to select the wall ring. Then it goes to another page where you say you want to use it again, and then after that, it asks you again if you want to use the wall ring. It's like, dude, I don't need to be confirmed 3 times if I want to use it. I just want to get it out of my magic items. So that's a
Yeah.
little annoying for me sometimes.
Excellent. My number 5 is, and always shall be, the ability to edit clan mails and descriptions without having to retype it all.
Yeah, that's big.
Yeah, that's been on yours for a while now.
Especially because of the way it's formatted.
Mm-hmm.
I
Yeah.
think didn't Magnus format that?
Yes. Yeah, it's not easy.
Yeah, it's a process. Much love to him.
What is your number 4, Outlaw?
Number 4, I would like to see when you click on like your builders at the top, your available builders.
Mhm.
I want to see the apprentice gone. I don't want that 500 gem option there because I don't want to accidentally click on it because there's no confirmation for it. Once you click it, and if you hit that, buy now, boom, there's all your gems gone. It's not that's what should have 3 confirmations, not walls.
Yeah, I agree. Fuzzy, what's your number 4?
So I take it that you don't have the apprentice builder outlaw?
I've got the first level. I didn't go through and like I'll have to go back and look. What did I do?
Well, so anyway, that takes me to my number 4, and that's having the apprentice builder's face pop up over the town hall, which was the Firepower Clan's number 1. Because to me, whenever I see him above the town hall, I think I'm missing something, but it's just him wanting to take off an hour of one of my upgrades, and it's so annoying.
Yeah.
I see what it is, Fuzzy. I've got him on my main, but not my alts.
I didn't get him on any of my alts.
Yeah, so
Yeah,
it still
same.
shows up on my alts.
I know Call Me T said, he kind of went into the numbers, and if you are a lower level town hall, eventually the 6,500 gems do outweigh the amount of hero books or books you can get from it. But I'm not spending 6,500 gems on them.
No.
Yeah, it's a lot of money.
Yeah.
Yeah.
My number 4 is I want them to add an auto timestamp to the war map. So when someone calls a base, it just automatically puts the remaining time in war. So
That'd be nice.
Yeah.
I agree.
What's your number 3, Outlaw?
Yeah, I think that's gonna be it. Yeah. Auto timestamp.
Okay.
That's a pretty good one.
Fuzzy?
I wish they would reduce or remove the training times for armies. It's so annoying when you log on to make legends hits. You're kind of rushing because you're behind, and you see that you didn't train any armies from the last 2 times you made your attacks, and it's just like, I gotta wait an hour and a half now for 2 of my armies to train unless I boost. It's just so
Yeah.
it just seems so archaic and something they could have got rid of a long time ago.
Yeah. It comes down to, then they'd have to get rid of the green potion, right? So I love that idea too.
Mm.
My number 3 is add another in-game role for clan leaders to assign to people. So, for example, if you need somebody somebody wants to volunteer to be a builder at clan capital, right now they have to be a co-leader to do it. So it would be nice to just have that role. You're a clan capital builder or whatever. So that's my number 3.
That's a good one.
What is your number 2, Ella?
I think it'd be really close, but it might be number 1, but it's at least number 2. And I don't know how they would make it happen, But if we could have, like, let's say, for instance, the CFF, if I could go to all the clans and be accepted and like have an option to where I can just go join those clans without having to request, like be on a list or something, that would be
Mm-hmm.
great. Because there are
Right.
people that bounce around from the Raided and Redthorn to Shiny and all over the place. So it'd be nice if there was just like an auto accept
Yeah.
for people on your list.
I like that one. I like that one a lot. What is your number 2, Fuzzy?
I kind of like Outlaw's idea from that last one. That's a really good one. But I would like to see them either expand clan sizes or maybe introduce like a guest slot kind of thing where
Mm-hmm.
if people come in as guests, maybe they can't see the war maps or or something like that, but there's like 10 extra slots where they can just come in and talk and donate or whatever. I think because we're overfilling right now with all our clans, so we need some extra spots.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm tongue tied in here.
My number 2 is to get rid of the 7th builder on the town hall. Like, just it drives me crazy when I'm tapping on it and he keeps popping up, and I just want to
Yeah.
see what my magic items are. It makes me
I don't
crazy.
like his
Put him
face.
somewhere else. Yeah,
I don't like his face.
Yeah, they could easily put him somewhere else. And to be honest, I always forget to use him. Like, I just got him on level 1, right, on my mains. But when I had stuff to upgrade, I would forget to assign him. Not that he really did anything, but so.
No.
What is your number 1, Outlaw?
It's gonna be really tough, and I know Magnus would probably shoot me, but if we had the option for like a 50-person CWL, just to where like maybe not every month, but like we could put together like a special week-long event out of CWL, which I could hear him now. Yeah, you do the roster.
It would probably make it simpler.
It might.
Yeah.
Be less
Which-
clans to oversee.
Yeah, that's for sure. Fuzzy, what's your number 1?
So I think I've had a few friends that run into this problem for especially a lot of strategic rushers where they're accidentally pushed too high and get above the Legends League badge and then they can't get attacked. So I think if you go above 5,000 trophies, there should be like an exit Legends League button that resets you to Titan 1 or whatever, or just under Legends League so you can start trophy dropping. Because it happened to me like. Yeah, I was gonna say it happened to me when I was at Town Hall 12, and I was like, well, I guess I just need to wait to get attacked. And I think I went like 2 days without getting attacked. It was really annoying.
It's really hard to drop out of Legends.
Yeah.
My number 1 is the ability to donate to your own CC in war on the war map.
Yeah.
Oh, that's a good one.
That's really good.
That would really be helpful, I think.
Then everybody could do their own.
Well, exactly. Let's do some shout outs now. Fuzzy, you want to go first?
Yeah, I want to shout out all the co-leaders at the Raided. You guys know who you are. You guys are doing an excellent job, and I appreciate all the help. Then I would like to shout out Ghost, Ace, and Outlaw for taking on the responsibility of getting shiny Gemeralds up and running. BG and Whip for the awesome one spell space event that they just put on. And last but not least, everybody that's joining us for Warwin Attempt 500 at the Raided. You guys are all awesome. Thank you.
Wonderful. Outlaw, what about you?
Yeah, I just want to shout out all of our Redthorn family co-leaders. There's been in the clan itself, especially the members that were there, like when I joined. There's been a lot of ups and down seasons with real life and different things, and just a level of understanding, and life happens, and we all move on, and just being consistent, staying there, and as people come and go, and yeah, I'm losing my thought, Kat.
Okay.
As we come and go, always having a good open door to come back.
Definitely. All right, I've got some shout outs. I want to shout you both out for being my guest today. Much appreciated. And shout out to the entire Redthorn Raided Shiny Gemerald leadership team for everything that you all do each and every day. It makes my life much easier. A huge shout out to Darth Yoda for helping Redthorn on its push to the top 3 in Canada. When we checked last time, just before we started recording, we were 3rd. And I'm just going to take a quick peek right now.
Yeah, we're still 3rd.
Are we?
Yeah, 600 cups out of 2nd.
Yeah, it's top 3 in Canada is great. And We're going to try to get as close to second as possible. So thank you to Yoda and everyone in Sons of Guns, the good guys in War Heroes, as well as all the friends who came over to help us. And a big thank you to all the Redthorn people who had to move out of the clan to make space tonight, because that's a huge ask because we're in the middle of war. So
Yeah.
thank you. And it really hurt me to kick everybody. So
it's pretty cool when your bottom person's like 5583.
they get kicked from the clan. Okay, that's it from us, folks. Thank you, everybody, for listening. The CFF is a family of clans who love to play various games such as Clash of Clans, Clash Royale, and others. You can send questions or comments to us on Twitter at RedthornCOC. To get more information on our clans, events, and podcasts, join the CFF Discord at discord.gg/clashfiles.
Dear Clash Gods, I confess my emotions have been a mess, because you changed everything we ever knew, from witches to poison and the Queen Walk too.